Welcome to part 3 of this weekly installment of Ask a 4-5. I am Mark Sanset, your favorite tennis player that has extremely chapped lips thanks to the winter in the Midwest in 2021. Let's get started. Sam91 is asking, how do you find time to have a full-time job and do YouTube? I kind of did a breakdown of what I do on a weekly basis and where every hour of my consciousness kind of goes. So 40 to maybe 45 hours of my time a week is going towards my full-time job as a software engineer. And about 40 to 50 other hours of the week are dedicated to tennis related things, including training, and also YouTube stuff, which I am providing for you guys because it's actually pretty damn fun. So I'm doing a long grind, and if anyone out there doesn't have some sort of calendar system already, I highly suggest you start doing your best to do time management. So for me personally, being a Google guy, I use Google Calendar for literally everything. So every waking minute, I know exactly where I am supposed to be. So a little bit of a time management, but it's a grind and I'm enjoying it. Jibbles is asking, hey Mark, what % extra power would you say you gain from Taco Bell t-shirts? Obviously, this is a very important question. And I will give you a very important and serious answer. 69% more power. Nice. Mark from New Player is asking, what are your tennis goals? Do you want to get to the 5-5 level? Play in ITF tournaments? Or go into coaching? Well, I'm actually already into coaching, and I coach anywhere from beginner adults to JV high schoolers to even high-level juniors that are going to be playing Division I, possibly scholarship at this trajectory. But that's a tough one. I do want to get to the 5-5 level, and a lot of that is kind of a ticking time bomb because I am 30, almost 31 years old now. So my body will eventually hit a breaking point where I can't push any further due to the physical incapabilities that I could provide for myself. But I guess a dream thing for me, and trust me, ITF tournaments are completely out of the picture at this point because you need to be a high-level 5-5 or even higher to be even compete at that level because those guys are nuts. But I guess a dream of mine is to be a hitting partner with a professional tennis player, and to an extent, I'm already kind of doing that. I would like to do that on a more regular basis though. But in Midwest Wisconsin, in the United States, it's not as common as most people would think. So working towards it, opening my network up, and trying to become a better tennis player day by day and see where it takes me. KirkDog01 is asking, do you think someone who's only been playing tennis for a year but has spent a lot of time studying technique could teach the game of tennis while having the ideas of good technique in their head, just not the muscle memory? Is it possible? Is it possible to execute and be a good coach? That's a tough one because in my opinion, there is a certain level of confidence that you need to extrude, at least in a high junior development coaching, for them to kind of buy into what you're saying. It's definitely more of like a sales pitch. I'm not saying that someone that's been playing tennis for only 6 months or maybe only a year can't be the type of coach that can, sit next to a cart of tennis balls and feed tennis balls all day. That's perfectly fine. But to be honest, KirkDog01, it really depends on what type of tennis coach you want to be. In order to be a high-level tennis coach, when you're coaching these juniors that are just hungry to be improving day by day, it's going to be hard. It's possible, but it's going to be fairly difficult. But if you're teaching at a more recreational level, yeah, absolutely, it's more than possible. Monster Truck Tennis is saying on one of my YouTube comments, $10 a stick, because I only charge $10 per racket that I string, and he kind of goes over what I do. Yeah, I only charge $10 a racket restring if my client provides me with his or her tennis string. I have no problem doing that. Yeah, I have to do a lot, but keep in mind, I'm doing this from my spare bedroom. And even with, inspecting for cracks, paying taxes, and there's actually almost no overhead. For me, it's pretty relaxing being able to go into my second bedroom and kind of even earn even a little bit of money, which is what I do when stringing tennis rackets. When I string tennis rackets, I'm usually, having a beverage, like I'm having a beer right now because it's been a pretty long week for me. But I'm also able to watch YouTube. I'm also able to watch the professional tennis tournaments that are going on, even in this crazy world of 2020 and 2021. Yeah, so I only charge $10 a stick. And to be honest, streaming tennis rackets, it's fairly therapeutic. It's kind of relaxing. If you guys haven't already swung by my live streams that I do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, more than half the time I'm streaming tennis rackets and I'm answering questions from you guys. So if you guys haven't already, start hanging out with me. Again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll see you guys there. Henry Toussaint is asking, do I sell rackets after I review them? And don't plan to use them further. So I might have misspoken in my very first tennis racket review, the Yonex V Core 95, the 2021 version. If you guys haven't checked that out already, I'll leave a link in this corner if you haven't seen that already. It's actually pretty in-depth and pretty positive feedback from that. So with tennis racket reviews, I might have misspoken, but I only demo them. I don't buy them and then test them. It doesn't make sense for me to purchase a $240 frame to only test for maybe half a day and then send it out to you guys. So for the tennis strings, I want to clarify this. For the tennis strings, I play test. I do purchase them at full retail price, but for tennis rackets that I'll be reviewing in the near future, I will only demo them. I won't purchase them because that doesn't make a lot of sense. So Henry Toussaint, hopefully that answers your question. Thank you very much. Stefan is asking via Discord. By the way, I do have a Discord up and live. I will also leave a link to that Discord down in the section below. And every single Discord question I get is from the Q&A Mark text channel, which I do monitor very frequently, which is where I got most of these questions from you guys that I'm answering. Stefan is asking, why do you use light mode instead of dark mode for Discord? I don't know why. I got kind of called out on that, not including just you, Stefan. So I did change it to dark mode now, in case you haven't noticed, based on the pop-up when you asked this question, along with the Nick Curios smudge emoji. I don't know what you call that face. It's freaking hilarious though. So I am using dark mode now because I'm not a psychopath. Extreme Instinct is asking, what is my greatest tennis achievement besides my recent victory over the TW Swindlers, which I kind of got a lot of flack and shade for, but I am a fan of Tennis Warehouse. I just want to clarify that. So my greatest tennis achievement, I guess this is more of a personal one, and I'm gonna try and keep this short. Between my freshman and sophomore year in college, I was going through a pretty dark time, and yes, it involved a relationship with a female that was extremely close to me, and it just didn't work out, if you know what I mean. So between my freshman and sophomore years of college during the summer, I had a choice. I could either do something productive with my energy and my time, or do something not productive and possibly destructive. So I'm glad that I used tennis as kind of a vessel to take out my negative angst and my negative energy to improve. And a lot of people did comment, for the people that knew me back then about 10 years ago, how much I improved as a tennis player, and also how much I matured as a human being. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mature now. Look at the jokes I make. But I did grow up as a person because I chose a healthy outlet of something that happened to me that I would deem borderline tragic. So, it's not necessarily winning tennis matches. It's not, my record at state league. It's not my tournament wins. But my greatest achievement in tennis, and I know this might not be the answer you're looking for, Extreme Instinct, is actually what I use tennis for. So hopefully that answers your question. So Fabrice Santoro, who is literally the greatest tennis player of all time, don't question that. He is the greatest player of all time. Fabrice Santoro is asking, what inspired me to become a YouTube content creator? A lot of it was actually the quarantine and lockdown stuff because of 2020, but I've always wanted to be some sort of I guess, media personality. I don't know what you want to call it. On top of being able to educate people, because, you know, obviously I found kind of a niche market on, you know, tennis string reviews from an independent source. So I kind of nailed that on the head. But another source of inspiration, and this is a more tangible, more actionable thing, if you guys are ever thinking about being a YouTube content creator, I would highly suggest you check out the Alpha Gaming channel. Again, I will leave a link down to this in the section below. It's run by this amazing individual named Harris Heller, who is a huge streamer and a huge YouTube content creator. He's doing some really cool stuff. He's changing the industry. So he is one of my inspirations, along with Ian from Essential Tennis, to become an original YouTube content creator. Not only, you know, because it's a pretty cool lifestyle and it's a really cutting edge type of industry, but also I have the ability to reach out to people such as yourself when it comes to tennis or basically anything else. I mean, you guys are listening to me. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So for B. Santuro and, you know, anyone that's, you know, asking a similar type of question, check out Harris Heller at Alpha Gaming. He runs his own channel. He's done an amazing job, and he's inspired hundreds, if not thousands, of other YouTube content creators, such as myself, to just go out there and get it. I wouldn't be here without him. So that is it for this week. If you guys have any questions for me that you want me to answer on a weekly basis down in the future, leave a comment down in the section below, or if you really want to be noticed, hop on my Discord channel, which is also linked in the description, and leave a question in the text chat channel called Q&A with Mark. And as always, happy hitting.